What is up, ladies and gents? So in this video I'm going to show you what my YouTube setup is and how I achieve this look, the Fireboy and Water Girl look. I'm going to show you what camera I have, what mics, what lights I use right now. This is a 35mm on a full frame EOS R, and this is the frame that I've come up with because on a wide it doesn't really look that good. Let me just show you. That's at 17mm. It's not the prettiest, like my room is always messy, so I think it's just easier for me to just crop in into this frame, and obviously I don't get the mic in, I don't get the window in, but normally that's not an issue because I shoot at night anyway, so that whole window is blacked out anyway, but today I've just put like a bed sheet just to cover up the part that I'm filming in, and yeah, and you don't see the desk and the bed and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. This one's much better. And let me show you exactly what I see when I film these videos. You can see that we have the camera. So the camera that I use is the EOS R, and I've put it on some stick, I think like a Viltrox tripod. We've got the Ninja V monitor at the top, just so I can see myself a bit bigger, because that little screen, even though it's great for vlogging, it's really bad, especially when I've got cables coming out of it, to actually see if I'm in frame and if everything is correct. On the left hand side of me though, I have this nice big diffuser. I've had to put card on the sides because, well, I had to diffuse the light somehow from spilling onto the background. And then on the right side of me, I've got I wanted to put a boom arm on there, but I can't. So I've basically just had to put my vlogging mic, the Rode Video Mic Pro, on top of it. And that's why you're getting this really clean audio. So yeah, that's how I'm getting the audio. It's really close, but you can't see it on camera, but it's literally just here. Now, as good as this setup might look to you, it's not really perfect, and there's a few reasons for that. And one of the main problems being lighting. The key light that I'm using right now is just a small, cheap, battery-powered LED that's been placed in an umbrella softbox just to make a small source a slightly bigger one. But because it's a cheap LED, I've actually run into more problems. First of all, the brightness. Now, because it is such a small budget LED, the light quality and brightness isn't really there. And especially when I put it into a softbox, you're just going to lose more brightness. And an example of this is that I'm shooting an f4, but with a high ISO of 6400. I'm barely exposed. I think I'm like one stop under, which means that when I bring the levels up, you're probably going to see noise everywhere, and it's just not going to look great. And it's just another step in the editing workflow that I don't really want to do just because my light wasn't powerful enough. And secondly, color, or how the light actually renders color. Now, a lot of high quality LEDs will have a high CRI rating of like 97, 98, and the gold standard has always been tungsten because the CRI rating is like 99.9, which is why a lot of Hollywood sets always use them, because the colors on your skin just look amazing. But because this is a budget LED, the color rendering isn't going to be amazing. I'm actually quite lucky that it's not too bad with this light, but I have noticed that the colors do shift to green, which means that I do have to correct it in post. And honestly, this softbox is just one that was lying around that was broken, that my dad used to own, and I've had to rig it out and put these silly little flaps on the side just to block the light from spilling onto the background. But hey, it works and it's more than good enough for what I need. The only downside is that it is an umbrella softbox, which means I actually need the light actually needs to go in and clamp. It's just awkward and fiddly. Now, ideally, I would love to use the shotgun mic that I've bought on a boom arm and the little adapter for the C-stand and run it into a audio mixer and get that really crispy audio. But unfortunately, I don't have the budget for that right now. So I'm just using the mic that I use for vlogging, which is the Rode Video Mic Pro, and I'm using a arm and a knuckle to mount that on the C-stand. I know it's bad, but I just got to do it. And I've just run a 3.5mm jack straight into the camera. So it's not perfect, it might not sound great, but it works and you're still getting a relatively good audio signal. And for all the videos that look like this on my channel, I've used this setup and this gear and it's been great. It still works and I think it's more than good enough for YouTube. Is this really professional enough or good enough to have on a proper set? I don't think so. That's where I've come up to this light. This is the Pixel C100. Now, it's basically been compared to the Aperture 120D, but it came in at a much lower price point, around 250 quid. And altogether, it came to about 370 quid, which I know some of you might think is a lot, but it's actually not that bad, considering an Aperture 120D on its own runs you about $700 or $600. Let's pop this light off and pop the new Pixel C100 light on, and let's see the difference. This is with the new lighting kit, the Pixel C100. It's an equivalent of a 1K tungsten light, so it's so much more brighter, and I've put the diffuser and the egg crate on, and obviously this does help stop the spill a bit, but because it's just such a small room, I've had to angle this quite low, so that's why you're getting the spill on the background. I hope that the colors and the quality of the light is way better than that little pocket LED. That's pretty much my YouTube studio setup, if you want to call it that, and gear for 2020. I actually want to do this every year just to see how the setup changes, but one key light, the Video Mic Pro, the Canon EOS R on a budget pair of sticks, and 2 C-stands. Let me know in the comments down below if you have any ideas or any recommendations on what I should change to my setup or gear. I'd love to know your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching. Hope this helps some of you guys out there. And if you always want to see filmmaking tips and tricks videos, as well as basically everything to do with filmmaking, then make sure you hit the subscribe button, be part of the Limbacher gang, and never miss a video by hitting the little gun tree, because for some reason, not everyone's seen my videos, which is a bit annoying. Hope you guys are staying safe and well, and I'll see you in the next one. That's all from me. Tilak out.